Hey guys, it's Sunday morning. Little different thing here. Got this old lamp post that the wife didn't really want in the house anymore. I guess I can see why. It's said it's older than her. It came from her parents. So I was taking it apart. I figured it's got a nice heavy base. I was gonna make a paint stand out of this, you know, and I can. I've got some things that I've made for. This you can bolt a fender to the back of a Harley on there. I could just drop this down in there and spin it around. Milo's got me thinking on this stuff, you know. But I could make some, you know, I could have it at work and put door handles or mirrors and stuff like that on there so that I don't need a whole paint stand in the booth taking up space. Well, I was taking this apart. I thought I could give you guys some useful information if you're not up on this stuff. I did originally go to school to be an electrician. So when you get these wires, house lamp cord, it looks like, you know, it's when you're wiring the other end. This is looks like a plug-in that somebody put on. This is actually newer because the neutral side is wider. You always want your neutral wire on that wider side. And your shorter one, and it's in this case it's brass colored. It's not always the case though. That's your hot side. Together you get the 120 volts. Now plugging that in, it's that way because you want the polarity right. Like your modern plug, the short side is hot, the tall side is neutral, and then you get your ground. Hopefully everything's grounded right. Now this is assuming that the guy wired it right. House wire, you got your white and your black. In most cases, your white's your neutral, your black's your hot. But you don't always know if it's an older house. It wasn't a really big deal in the past, but sometimes they're wired backwards and they're not supposed to be. And then every circuit from here out, say they ran another circuit from this side out, is going to be the wrong side. A good way to check that is just a simple tool like this. You plug it in to all your outlets, and as long as these two outer lights go on, you're good. Your ground's good, your hot and neutral are on the right side, and there's a little chart that shows you different problems if they're, you know, a different way. Then when you get to your wire, the older house cord, one side's smooth, the other side has a groove in it. Always the groove side is your neutral. That's your identified side. Your identified wire is always your neutral. Whether it has a little groove in it, a piece of tape on it, inside a junction box. So that way when you get up to here, you know which side is your neutral. And when you're wiring up one of these sockets, and that's the outer shell, this one's also identified. Brass is your hot. White metal, aluminum, whatever it is, that's your neutral. So the outer shell is neutral and the center part is hot. If you wire this right, but you're plugging into a plug that's wired backwards, your outer shell will be hot and your center will be neutral. Not a big deal. It's just that if a family member's changing the light bulb, they're more likely to get a bite off of this outer shell than they are putting their finger way inside to the part that's hot. Yeah, if any of you guys it's kind of a cool hobby in the winter or something like that, you know, you get you can make a lamp out of just about anything. All you really need is the cord, you know, and the socket. You can get different types, but that's just basic wiring there. Hopefully that come in handy for one of you guys someday. Keep a family from getting zapped. Yep, so we're gonna make a paint stand out of that. That'll be pretty useful. And I just came across this at the Sickens Paint Training Center that I went to years ago. They have car shells that they just have on metal frames on wheels, and they paint them multiple times a day to display different products. That's how thick paint can get before it really starts to crack. That is hundreds and hundreds of paint jobs. Primer, base coat, clear coat. Primer, base coat, clear coat. Sealer, they do mock repairs and everything. But when it got to about this level on some of these cars, I mean, it got so thick that the door seams were gone, the hood vents were gone, on the cowlings, you name it. It was just a flat shell of a car. But when it got to about this point, it started to crack. So mill thickness is real important. You know, you get 2 or 3 paint jobs on a car, you should consider skinning it up. But I've seen this stuff abused, and that's thick right there. That's a thick piece of paint. Alright guys, there's my Sunday update. Have a good one.